Hey y'all, I get these sweet potato patties from my local food line, and fixed the way I fix them, I absolutely love them. And I thought, I also love sweet potato pie, and I was thinking maybe there's some way I could use these in sweet potato pie because they have like a dense, just a really good flavor. So anyway, I'm going to show you how I cook these, and then we're going to make little individual pies out of them. And you can just, if you don't want to make the pies, just cook these sometime like I cook them if you want to. And I think you'll love them. I used to work many years ago at a restaurant called Calabash Landing, and this is how they made them, and I loved them, and that's how I've made them ever since. So it's starting to get dark here. I have cooked all day, and the lighting is probably worse than it usually is, but I hope that you can get something from this that you can use, some information. And I'm going to take you on down to the frying pan. I have a really large pan here, you can see, compared to my hand. It's really large. I've turned it on high. I'm going to put a stick and a half of butter because I'm going to make 2 packs of these. There's 8 in a pack, so that'll be 16. They're just called sweet potato patties. On the front it tells you how to microwave them or to heat them in the oven. And it has things in it like sugar, cornstarch, buttermilk, salt, natural and artificial flavors. But anyway, if you've never tried these, give them a try. I think you'll like them. And it's giving me a hard time trying to open it. But I'm letting my butter melt a little bit while I open these. I'm making 3 more of these packs tomorrow for our meal, but for dessert, I thought these would be really good as little pies. So, the butter is melting, and I know there's a shadow on that, but I'm going to have the recipe down in the description box. That's something that I'm going to try to start doing this year, because sometimes, well, I talk with an accent, and maybe you don't understand something I say, or you know, don't want to have to watch through the video again to try to get the recipe. So that's something that I'm going to do, along with a couple other little things I'd like to do this year. So the butter is pretty well melted. Now I've got brown sugar, and for this amount that I'm going to make today, I'm going to put, and I'm measuring by my hand, I'm going to put 1 cup of brown sugar, and I'm going to put 1 cup of white sugar. And I'm going to put a little pumpkin pie spice. I believe I'll put a little bit more. And stir this up. And this will make kind of a thick, I'm turning my burner down now to a little less than halfway. This will make kind of a thick sauce on your sweet potatoes. I just love that sauce. So you see, it's not too thick, the sauce. So now we're just going to start adding these potatoes. And I'll add the other one. And I just let these simmer low for a while until I see the broth is starting to thicken, and when the broth is the thickness that I want it to be, then the potatoes are done. But you have to, I always make sure to turn them at least one time. Trying to get that one in there. So here they are. They're just gonna, I'm gonna watch until this sauce starts to bubble low, and then I'm going to turn it down where it will continue to bubble low, and I'm gonna let it go for probably 10 minutes, and then you know, if I move my big head, there's no shadow on it. So then I'll turn them, and I'll let them go another 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll be ready to do our little pies. So I'll see you back in a minute. So we are going to put the sweet potato pies together, and I just did a video on individual apple pies and did the same method, and I had thought of a different way to do it, but I believe the same way that I did the apple pies will work best. So I'm going to show you how I did the crust. And I bought these pie crusts. There's 2 in a box. They were on sale. 2 boxes for $4. And I just didn't have time to make homemade pie crust. This works better if you have it at room temperature. Cold, the pie crusts don't really want to work with you. And I've done so many of these today that I have figured out the best way to cut it without losing the most pie crust. So you'll cut, I'll tell you about the cups in a second. You'll cut 5 of these big cups worth of pie crust. I don't think I'm bearing down hard enough on my cup. Okay, that one's a little weird, but it's okay. I think I forgot my system because I'm back to, yeah, it's gonna work. And then with your small cup, you can cut 3 pie crusts, and then with what is remaining of the leftovers, you can kind of piece together 2 pie crusts of the top pie crust, so it works out pretty well like that. And I've already put some in the this, and I can't think of what you call it, muffin pan. So all you do, you don't have to spray it. You find a cup that the opening goes around enough that when you mash your crust down in it, it'll come up on the sides good. So you can kind of go like that. See, just kind of pinch it together some and put it in your muffin pan. Press out the edges around it till they are touching the side, the insides of the pan. And like I said, have this at room temperature and it will go by real fast putting these in. And if I forget to say it, let me say it now. When you're filling your pie crust, try not to let any of it run down on the pie tin where there's not dough, because then it runs on the in between the pie tin and the crust, and then it tears your little pie up when you're trying to get it out. So we have all those ready. We have our tops ready here in our little pieces that we're going to use. There was, I used 3 packs of pie crust. That made 15 pies. I had 16 yams, so we have 1 extra. But I'm going to move this off of there, and I'm going to set my yams here that I'm taking off the oven. And this is what they look like. Towards the center, I don't know if you can see, but it's making that glaze. And when these cool, the glaze really thickens up. So what we're going to do is go ahead and put a yam in each of our cups, and like I said, try not to touch the side with it, or don't let it run out in between your pie crust and your muffin pan. As you can tell, I'm about half crazy right now. Can't think what I'm trying to say. It's not too hard getting these in there like that. What I'm going to do is have my son take this, and I made some, I'm doing what I told you not to do. Cheesecakes. I really don't have room in the refrigerator, but it's cold here, so I'm going to have him set those in the car till tomorrow, and where they'll stay nice and cold. Okay, I've got all those in, and I'll get these 3 in, and then we'll have 1 left over. Sometimes you can't help but get a little bit of the yam on the pan. Okay, now I'm going to go back, because see, we have a lot of this broth. Like I say, it's going to thicken when it gets cold, but it's a little thick. I don't know if you can tell it or not right now. And I'm going to put some on each pie just to make them a little more juicy. I tell you, if you try this recipe, not talking about the pies, but just the recipe for the yams, I really feel like you'll love it. So, I was trying to get you to see It's kind of thick. So now we're going to put our lids on, and I'm just laying them up there. I'm not really mashing, because if I do, I'll mash the extra sauce out that I put on them. But just cover each one. Put a little vent hole with your knife in each one. Now I have to take my pieces here and make lids for the rest of them, but that's okay. It's not much trouble to do that. And I'm not going to bore you with all this part of it, but I'm going to stick them in the oven on 425 and let them go probably 15 minutes or so, and they should be nice and brown. And I'll take them out, and I like to let them rest a while so that they hold together better when you take them out of the muffin pan. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this, put them in the oven, and I'll see you back here in a minute. This is Cree, my granddaughter, and she is going to taste test the yam pie, individual pie. So, Cree, well, first of all, let me just show you. This is what it looks like. Now, Cree, would you like to go ahead and take a bite? Get a big bite so you can try it off. Can we see inside?
Oh, that looks delicious.
That's my grandson, you hear, Aaron. So what do you think about it, Cree?
It's good. The crust is really good around it, and it's really moist inside and really soft.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your opinion, and I'm sorry for all the noise in the background, but everybody's here. So have a Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.